Hi everyone! It's Shuen here. I'm just waiting to see if anyone's going to be joining me for this live video. I'm pretty much just going to flip through my 2020 Volume 1 album. Hey everyone! I see people now. Yes, so tonight I'm just going to flip through one of my, well, I guess it depends on how long it'll take, but my plan was to flip through at least one of my December daily albums from last year and see how the album pages would translate to 10 by 8 pages. So like I had mentioned previously, I am going to be working in the December daily 10 by 8 album size. And so I thought it would be helpful to see, it was actually my boyfriend's idea. When I was debating between the 6 by 8 size and the 10 by 8 size, one of the first things he asked me was, can you convert any of your pages from last year to a 10 by 8 size? Especially those ones that I really enjoyed doing. And I thought that was such a good idea to look through my past albums and just make sure that I will have enough ideas for the 10 by 8 album. So I have my albums here. There are 3 of them. I might not have enough time to flip through all 3 of them today. But I also do have some paper that I've just divided into 4 sections. So that I can draw out some sketch ideas if any of those come into mind. And these are just, you know, plain paper, whatever. And I have printed out the whole catalog of the December daily products as well. If you guys haven't seen these are available on the Ali Edwards store now, on the Ali Edwards blog. So you can see all the products that will be available as well as the prices. And I think this is on the blog post where she revealed the kits and albums. So let's get started. So this one is volume 1, and these are all in Life Crafted albums from Citrus Twist. And the collections that I used for these albums last year was primarily I did some stuff from Cocoa Daisy, some stuff from In a Creative Bubble. So I'm really excited that Geraldine is designing one of the kits for this year. And I had a title page that went in front of this album, but because it became so bulky, I had to put it in a different album. And so that's why I just covered this front part with, this is from Ali Edwards, actually, from one of her One Little Words kits. And I had an extra December, so I just stuck that on there and then stuck a calendar card on that as well. And so my first page here is a gatefold, and it's a reason why. So this is kind of like a hidden gatefold because you have this hidden element here. So it's kind of like a surprise. So this I feel like definitely would be convertible to a 10 by 8 page. So all you would have to do is kind of extend this vellum part out and just have like 4 inches and 4 inches, and then have the centerpiece be, I was thinking maybe like a wreath would be really nice for this part, like those clear, like kind of like translucent wreaths, and the one with the quote on it, I think would be really cute if you had them layered together and did that, because I think there's more than one wreath that comes in that kit, and one of them has the Roald Dahl quote and the other ones are blank. So you could totally do something like that if you wanted. And here I just have the numbers for the year, and I have my reason why and a photo of all of the supplies that I had gathered up for December daily of last year. And I like the way that the vellum kind of, you can see a bit of the text underneath. And Ali does have some vellum in her shop, so that would be very easy to use. Just cut down one of them and use that for this page. So I think I'll start sketching if you guys don't mind. This might take longer than I thought. Anyways, so this is a potential design for your reason why page. So you would have like a gatefold, gatefold. And I'm so bad at drawing straight lines. I'm sorry, guys. And so my thoughts are maybe a wreath. Question mark, wreath. And then we have vellum, vellum, reason why page. So this would be approximately 5 inches, as with this piece. So there's one done. The next page I have is talking about the advent calendars that we got last year. So I got a chocolate advent calendar and my boyfriend got a beer advent calendar because he loves beer. So that's the first beer that he had. And that's my advent calendar all opened up. So this page you can definitely do as a 10 by 8. So one of the things I thought about as well with the Life Crafted albums is that this is essentially like a 10-inch page because I was working outside of the page protectors. So this is 5 inches and this is 5 inches. I'll get a ruler here. Yeah, so this is exactly 10 inches. So if you wanted, you could do like a layout with a photo on one side, maybe like a 4-inch wide photo, 4 by 8-inch photo, and then have an interactive element, maybe a title here. And that could still flip up and you can have more photos there if you like. So I'll just draw that out as well. And the thing I like about Ali's kits this year are that she does have the pattern papers. As you can see, I do like my pattern papers for my interactive elements. So it'll be really exciting to do pattern papers for my interactive elements. Yes, this ATN, this is totally the perfect beer for day one. This is the Partridge Pear Tree. And it did taste kind of like pear. I remember that. So that was pretty neat. So we could have like a title, maybe. And then like, this would be like a 4 by 8 photo. And then this could be like an interactive flip. So that would be cute. All right. So the next page, this one I am definitely doing as a 10 by 8 thing. So I was thinking actually of using, oh, I should probably talk about this, hey? So this was day 2. These are all of the Christmas cards that I made. Maybe not all of them, but at least 25 designs of different Christmas cards that I had made for the season of last year. So I obviously didn't make them all on the second because that would be insane. But I did send out most of these last year. And so I just have little flaps for all of those Christmas card photos. And I think this would be so much better on, like, you could have 2 of the 10 by 8s. And then that way, like, the photos don't have to be, like, these were maybe 1-inch wide photos. And so you can't really see the details on these. So I think doing this on, like, a full 10 by 8 plus a 10 by 8, like, if both of these pages were 10 by 8s, that would be super cool. Especially because Ali does have those window cards. Let me see if I can find the window cards. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Let's see. Yes, these ones here. So these window cards, I think these are like 2 inches by 2 inches, she said. And so you could do something similar like this, where like if you had like ornaments that you made. I am making felted ornaments this year, so I might do something with that. Or if you had Christmas cards you received or things like that, you could definitely use those. You just might have to buy some more packs because each pack only comes with 6. I think I'm going to get 2 packs of those so that I have some more to work with, but that is definitely an idea that you can do with those. So window cards would be about 2 inches, I think. So you could do, what does that divide to? Like 5 by 4? So maybe you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Window cards for maybe Christmas cards, question mark. I don't think, because it's hard to know like if they're exactly 2 by 2, you might be able to fit 20 on them, or you might just be able to fit like 16, but either way you'd need more packs of those as well. All right, moving on to my next page. Oh, my sister's here. Everyone say hi to my sister. Her name is Jetwen. All right, so the next page I have here is about, this is a fancy date that my boyfriend and I went on. And so I have pictures of all of the different dishes that we were served. This was like, I think a 7-course or like a 6-course meal with a beer pairing, which was really cool. 7-course, yes, I have that written down here, 7-course. It was very expensive, but it was so worth it. So one of the kind of a bad side about these smaller albums is that, like, I have to, in order to fit all of these photos in this one spread, I had to make this super thick interactive element, which is why my album is so thick, right? So I'm thinking, like, if I had a bigger page to do this on. So the way this page works is it's kind of like a double pocket. So there's like a slant here and a slant here. I think someone last year, like part of product play maybe, or maybe Ali Edwards did this in one of her pages, was she had like little flaps that flipped out with Christmas trees, I think it was. But I chose to make mine into pockets so that I could put bits and pieces in there. And so that would be, I think, really cool to do on, like, if this page was 10 by 8, then I wouldn't have to, like, then you could do 2 photos instead of, like, so it would be like this maybe, where you could have, like, more than one photo in a layer, and then that way you could save on a lot of space there. So I'll put that down as a definite maybe for layouts. And this was just like a little filler page that I had with, oh dear, maybe close the binder rings before everything falls out. This was just a little filler bit that I had because this page didn't really match with this page. So that's something that I think I'll do as well with Ali's vellum pages, is that I might use vellum to divide the different days if they're not related to each other, and if they clash in terms of like the colors or the photos that I have. So I do want to get that idea down. And I think the way that these pockets are angled on a longer piece of paper versus a taller piece of paper kind of looks a bit nicer as well. So like this kind of looks a bit squished, and I think I would like that better actually. So then I would have like large photo mats. These are diagonal pockets. So that would be really cute, I think. Moving on. This one was a page documenting my friends and I were playing Secret Hitler online. And so this phone thing is from Studio Calico, I think. I got it from a while ago and it was on sale. So all I did was I adhered one to like an interactive, like a little strip of paper so that I could have one and it could open up. And so if you haven't played Secret Hitler, it's where you're in like two teams and you don't know who your teammates are because that's kind of kept a secret. So I was on the liberal side, which is the good people. So I wanted that to be hidden because that was like hidden information. And then I have this double slide out that I'm going to have more room. So if you pull this out, this comes out as well. So this was kind of the screenshot on our phone that I took during the game. And then I have what all of our roles were. And this slides back. I do have a process video on this page. It does take up a bit more bulk because the interactive element for it to slide freely, I did have to add extra bulk on that. So I don't know if I'll be doing that again in my album for this year because I don't want to end up with 3 10x8 albums. That will just be insane. So there's that. This one here was kind of like a bit too busy for me, I think, in terms of how the page went. So this was documenting my boyfriend and I sending out Christmas cards for the first time, like as a couple. So that was really exciting for me. And he even got into some stamping. If you can see, we have like the stamp platform right there that he's using to stamp on the envelopes. We did little stamps, like these little stamps on the envelopes, and that was super cute. So I had created an envelope with my We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board to store our newsletter that we do every year. So because the Ali Edwards kit has, you can have add-ons that have the envelopes. Where are those? I know which one I'm going to use. It's the craft one. I really like that one. Yes, this one here. So I was planning on using that craft envelope right there. I do have concerns that it might not be big enough. I think this is like 4 inches wide, and I think my card is also 4 inches wide, which means like it wouldn't be able to close unless I created like another score mark to close that, but that would be super cute in that envelope. The issue is that I always like just one of the envelopes. Caleb, you only like one of the envelopes. I would have to say the craft one is my favorite. This vellum one here, I'm like a bit cautious about because like I tend to be kind of rough on my envelopes, and I'm just worried like if the whole thing is made of vellum, how durable that will be, especially if the opening is like very small and it's hard to take things in and out of. But I really like that colorful pouch as well. I think I might end up maybe putting some embellishments on the front to kind of tone it down a bit, and then maybe matte the back so that it's not completely see-through to the second page. I might end up doing that, but yes. And you can always cut these down as well if you're not too keen on those sizes. So like this long envelope, for example, what I might end up doing, because it doesn't have like a closure anyways, I might end up chopping it in half so that it kind of is like, because what would that be? Probably around 4 inches. So that it's like kind of a 4 inch by 4 inch half pocket. And then you can put things in. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that is this envelope pocket, and this is just documenting sending out Christmas cards. And of course, this is Geraldine's lovely imagery, and I'm so excited that she has, Ali has some of the In a Creative Bubble products this year in her line. This one here, I have a process video for, and this is So this would be kind of difficult to create if you don't have specific dies related to this. But this could totally be made if you had this type of die into a 10 by 8 page. So I would go with a longer word, probably like joyful or Christmas maybe, or jolly would even be nicer. So all of these flaps flip out, and I just have some photos documenting a day to the market where my friend and I just had a lot of food. And I just have some embellishments there, and I just stuck some stickers here. So again, props to Ali for including pattern papers, because you can see that it's a lot easier to make these types of interactive pages with pattern papers and things like that. Here I just have a piece of vellum to separate these two pages, not because they don't match, but because I was worried that these letters would catch on some of these cutouts. So this is from In a Creative Bubble as well, and I converted that file into a cut file. And the reason why it's shiny is because my cutting machine was getting kind of close to the end, like of the blade, and it wasn't sharp enough to cut all the way through paper without leaving those, like, you know, how it drags the paper fibers all over the place and doesn't create clean cuts. Well, apparently, if your cutting blade is at that point, it can still cut through like laminated things. So I just laminated a bunch of cardstock and I cut through them that way. And I did eventually replace my blade, but while I was waiting for the blade replacement, that was a good hack. This page you can definitely do as a 10 by 8 as well. So this was documenting my love for Starbucks things for the holiday season. So this is all using like the cups from Starbucks, and I have a die that can cut ornament shapes as well as these little metal things on the top. So these just flip up, and I have pictures, and I just used some of the paper bags on those as well. That was from like the cup holder thing, the cup sleeve, yes, and that's me holding the Christmas cup. And some journaling and the baked goods and the things that I got. So this one, if I were doing as a 10 by 8 page, I'd probably have more ornaments. And I don't know if you guys have access to cut files or things like that, but if you do, this is definitely very doable. So I would maybe have like 5. Ornaments. And again, these could be made of from pattern paper, or if you have cute cups from Starbucks, those would work well as well. And if you don't have cut files and you're looking for like round objects, the wreaths would be really nice for this as well. So either the wreaths, or I was thinking the fabric circles would be really cool. And the way you'd have to do the interactive element is instead of gluing this part down to the page and having it flip up from here, what you could do is you could run a piece of acetate, like just a small piece of acetate behind this paper. So it would attach here and attach down here beneath the photo. And that way you could still flip this up if it were a circle piece. And you might have to secure those with magnets to hold them shut, because acetate tends to not score easily and sometimes it pops open. But that is one idea. So 8 and 9. 8 was, this was a cut file that was part of the prep party from last year. Yeah, I think this is entirely scrap lifted from Crystal's page. So I do have a slide out here with my journaling, as well as a Zoom photo that we took. And the way you would do this on a 10 by 8 would be probably to do the word horizontally and maybe choose a bit of a longer word as well. and that would work out just fine. And then you could either do the insert from the top of the page or from the side of the page would work fine. This page here was documenting my holiday wreath and some other Christmas decorations. So this one I have a process video for as well, and it is a 3D pop-up page. So another example of somewhere that I definitely included way too much bulk for this one page. So this has 2 photos in it, and then this has another 2 or 3 photos. So that has 2 photos plus journaling, which means that is a lot of layers. So definitely if you want to do a page like this, it would be a lot easier in a 10 by 8 size, because then you could have more room to include more photos without having to stack them all up like I do here. So that's that one. And the reason why I have a transparency between this is because I was worried that this, the point of the star would scratch at my photo. So that's why that's there. And this last page in the album, again, more stuff from In a Creative Bubble. And this one has a pull-out. So I'm looking forward to doing something similar with the Traveler's Notebook from In a Creative Bubble this year. Her pages are going to be 6 by 8, and they're going to be in a notebook, and I'll probably just cut that notebook apart and use the pages in my album. So this one's talking about Christmas presents and wrapping Christmas presents. So I just have some photos there. And I love how Geraldine's designs have like spots for photos. So these 2 tag shapes were already designed into the paper. So all I had to do was measure those out and then cut my photos down to size to fit into those 2 spots. And then this, I can't remember if it maybe said something below this and I didn't like that particular part, but I covered that with a chipboard piece. And then this one I have a process video for as well. This one I think would be a bit harder to do on 10 by 8, just because of the narrowness of the tree. Like, you can't really have really fat trees. I think that would look very odd. But what this is it's just some alcohol inks on Yupo paper. And I just have these presents magnetized to the page. And I have in each of these a photo of all of the presents that I wrapped, as well as a description of what those were, as well as, you know, like who they were for and things like that. So yeah, that is really fun. If you wanted to do a page similar to this, you can maybe do like a pile of presents. Like if you had, yeah, I don't know, like if you had lots of presents arranged across the bottom like that, maybe that would work, and then have like journaling underneath it. But yeah, I think this Christmas tree idea is the only one so far in this album that I found that wouldn't translate well to a 10 by 8 album size. So I have more photos. Did I open this one? No, I haven't. And more photos here. And more photos there. So that's the end of this album. I didn't cover the back because too bulky. Did you guys have any questions about any of this album? If not, I might just call it for today, because that has been half an hour, even though it was lovely showing this to you. And I will save the recording of this and post it on Instagram as well. And I will try to make like nicer versions of these sketches so that I can upload those if you guys are interested in that. But yeah, that's about it for today. So I'll be doing the other albums in a future week, and same thing, I'll just be going through them and talking about how I would maybe go about transferring those to 10 by 8 style. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Etienne. You're so welcome. All right, have a great night. Bye, everyone.